Today, I want to talk about taking things personally and feeling separate from the all, and how you can free yourself from this kind of suffering. If you don't know me, my name's Deborah. I'm a transformational healer and intuitive coach. And with the way I work with my groups and private clients, I help them to release the need for approval. If you can be free from the need of approval, you will not take things personally and you will not go through tremendous suffering. When we're taking things personally, we are giving our power over to people, places, and things, and we're becoming victims of those circumstances. We create limiting beliefs about ourselves. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. I'm not worthy. And so we're so busy thinking of what we're thinking and feeling that we can't see clearly, and we can't clear any relationships that we have around us. But when we stop taking things personally, then you can see things very clearly, and you're not focused on yourself. You're focused on the all, and you're not feeling the separation. So, how do you do this? The way I work with my clients is I help them to release, rewrite, and receive. That's my tagline. So, what is releasing? Releasing is becoming aware of what is running the show in your life, creating the experiencing from your subconscious mind. So, what happens when we're born is we come into this life with pretty much a clean slate. And then through growth and coming into a certain type of family that has certain kinds of beliefs, we adopt the beliefs, we adopt the concepts, and we start feeling separate because it appears like we are in this life, but we're not. There's nothing separate about this realm. Nothing. And when you can really see that you don't have to take anything personally, and you can really free yourself from that and stop practicing separation, your whole life will look so completely different, and you will be much happier and lighter and freer. So the first thing is releasing. The way I work is I have people set an intention, because when you set an intention for anything that you want, it invites the mind to release everything and that's limiting you, that's a limiting belief, a block that is blocking you from moving forward. When you set an intention, for example, if you want a relationship, I allow myself to have the perfect partnership. That's going to invite a lot of limiting beliefs, a lot of doubts. And that's what you start to release, especially when you're in relationships with anyone, whether it's romantic or familial, friendship, and you find yourself taking things personally. When you start to release, you can see, wow, there's these running repetitive thoughts about yourself that is actually creating these circumstances. And everyone around you is really just reflecting back what you think about yourself, because we're all one. And that's the thing, everyone is you pushed out. You're not separate from anyone or anything. You are actually the universe. That's who you truly are. You're the beingness, the universe. Practicing separation is taking things personally. And it's a lot of suffering, unnecessary suffering. Even if you're in a relationship, or you've been in a relationship where they criticized you, whatever relationship it was, maybe it was parents or friends or whoever it was that criticized you or left you, it's still, it feels so personal, but it's not. And if you read the book, The Four Agreements, one of them is about, if someone kills you, don't take it personally. That's huge. That is huge. But I want to share with you that when I'm helping people release and I have them set an intention of anything that they want in their life, I put on the side of the piece of paper, I have them write the intention on the top, and then on the side is control, approval, security, those three words. So what do you want? Control. What are you probably also wanting? Approval. When you want approval, you're wanting love, or you want to approve of others, or you're disapproving of them or disapproving of yourself. And then security, safety, you're wanting that. So that's what the ego is always seeking. But our beingness is the universe, and the universe already has all of that. Is complete control, complete approval, and complete security. And the more that you tune into that, which is your true self, and really developing that relationship with yourself, that higher self, you can easily let go of wanting control, approval, security, and then you stop taking things personally. If you're in a romantic relationship, that can be very triggering. You can really take things personally because you're so intimate with that person. It actually causes part of the demise because you're so sticky and so sensitive. You're not really letting the other person be who they are. And sometimes taking things personally can be in the disguise of empathy. I'm empathetic, or I'm not a narcissist. I'm a empathic. I'm an empath. But really, it's sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's you're trying to put on a mask to be the sensitive one, the one that feels more. But sometimes, even if we take on that role, we still take it personally. We take things very personally. It's easier said than done. It's a tall order. But if you're with someone and they leave you, or they replace you, they leave you and replace you, you can take that personally. Yes, that definitely feels personal. But it really isn't when you break it down. We can't control anyone. We cannot, there's no security here, actually. In this realm, there is no way we can control another person, get them to give us approval, or make us feel secure. And when you can wake up to those facts, then you can be in freedom, and you can be more live and let live, and you become so much more magnetic because then people feel safe around you. If you take things personally, it's repelling. They don't want to be around it because you're so watching them like a hawk, and so sensitive. So there's so much freedom in not taking anything personally. My teacher, Laura Lucille, is absolutely free from wanting approval. And it's so awesome to be around someone like that because I see the freedom. I also have been around some of the direct disciples of Paramahansa Yogananda, which is my guru, and I spent several years with them. One in particular was absolutely free from approval. And it was so great to be around, and so uplifting, and you feel so safe around that person because they never judge you. They don't judge you, they don't criticize you. They're direct with you. He helped me so much in my life, but you feel safe. You don't feel like they want anything from you. And so when you're taking things personally, it's because you want something from someone. But when you let go of that wanting, taking things personally, watching every move they make, you are so free, and it's just so much better to live that way. Because I know from my experience, when I've had breakups and heartbreaks, I took it very serious, very personal. I took it very personally, and it was very painful, and so painful that you curl up in a ball and you just feel like you can't go on. It's taken me a long time to really get out of that. And I have to say that sometimes those thoughts will try to come up and make me feel bad. But when you release, you are so aware of your thoughts, because releasing is where you can take a step back and start challenging your thoughts, that you don't just buy them and then run on the emotional train. You actually become very aware, and what you're doing is you're being in your beingness, which is an awareness, and you're observing your thoughts, but you don't own them anymore. That's one thing that is so freeing, is you stop owning them and you stop believing them. That's what releasing is even if they try to come up, and sometimes they're very repetitive, They're not fresh and new. They're repetitive. They just repeat over and over and over. I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. Something's wrong with me. Why don't they love me? Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff is coming up because it's ready to be released. And as it's coming up, the key is to stop paying attention to them, number one. And number two, stop believing them. And you say to yourself, don't believe it. Don't believe it. And eventually they collapse. So releasing is very, very powerful. If you are in some kind of toxic relationship with someone, or you've had a divorce, or maybe you've had issues with any kind of relationship with anyone, start to release. See what happens. And start thinking about what you want, not what you don't want. Because usually the circumstances are happening out there because we've been thinking of what we don't want. And they're so subconscious that they're tucked away. And so when you start to put the spotlight of your mind, of your consciousness onto the subconscious, and you see, oh my God, these thoughts have been running the show, that's when you empower yourself. You come back into your own self, your beingness, your power, your true power. You really can change your life by changing your thoughts and letting go of those thoughts of what you don't want. So that leads me into the next step, which is rewriting the script, writing a new script, starting to write what you want. So if you're in maybe unfinished business with someone and you want the outcome to be different, then set your intention. I allow for this person and I to be in harmony. And then you write everything that is not in alignment with that. Like, what's in the way for you to have that harmony? And your mind will come up with everything under the sun, every doubt, every fear, everything. So you write all that down and you consciously release it. Then you start writing a new script, and you write what you want and get detailed. What is the most important part of that is having the conviction that it will change. Is write a new script and have the conviction that no matter what, somehow, some way, this is going to happen. And let the universe figure out the how. You just release whatever is in the way. You set the intention, release everything that's in the way, write a new script, and then receive the new timeline, receive the new version of you. And you will watch everything out there change, because our mind is creating at every moment, and everything that we think is what we are experiencing. And once you become aware of that, you can see it, and you will not be able to unsee it. You will go, oh my God, I created all of this. You can't be a victim. That's an old story. You can't be a victim anymore. And you will see that you created everything, and that you are not separate from anyone, and you don't need to take anything personally anymore. I have another experience I'd like to share where I had a conflict with a family member, and it was like a lot of things had built up, and it kind of just all exploded at once, and it was very hard to go through. It was very painful. But I released on it, and I wrote my intention of how I wanted to have harmony with this person. And it took me a while. It took me a few months, and I realized that it boiled down to something so incredibly simple, that he wanted to love me and me love him back. It was really simple, and that's usually what it boils down to, guys. Very simple. But I also took a step back, and I looked at my behavior and how it affected him and his perceptions, even if I knew that my intentions were not what he was perceiving. But it was very selfless. And I said, I can understand why this person felt the way they did. And once I was able to see that, I was able to let it go and release it. And I could feel the field was clear, because I stopped taking things personally. I took accountability for my part. Even if I didn't have to say anything to this person, I just, that's the thing. When you know that you're not separate from anyone, you don't even have to apologize to them. I mean, you can out of freedom, but when you really feel that sorrow, or that you feel like you are sorry, you give it to the universe, and it clears it. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. And so I was able to clear the relationship by really seeing my part and making the changes and not taking any of what he said to me personally anymore. And that was so freeing that it harmonized the relationship. And now I'm just pleasantly surprised. So that is so important. And once you are able to clear your side of the sidewalk and stop taking things personally, then you see everything so clearly. I was able to see the dynamic, why I behaved a certain way that I did in the past, and how I can be different now, and really see this person for who they are, which is true love, and to not be caught up in my own thoughts and feelings and reactions because I was taking it personally. And that's why people have they 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 disconnect and they separate, whether it's family, um, romance, anything, parents. I mean, people take everything so personally and they will not deal with them and not heal. And you don't even have to have a conversation with that person, especially if they've passed, but you can do the release work and that can clear the field so much. And you are helping yourself and you're helping that person that you've been in conflict with more than you can ever imagine. So, this is very powerful work to release, write a new script, and receive a new timeline. And as an energy healer, when I do my transformational healing sessions, I am helping my clients to release through energy healing, release, and activation. But I also have them release on their own for anything that comes up. And releasing, according to my teacher, said it's very natural. It doesn't feel like it at first, but it really is natural. It's naturally what we do. But in this society, we get so caught up in our thoughts that we forget who we are, and we start to react, and we take things so personally, and it just gets messy. So to conclude, I want to share that taking things personally and feeling separate are two things that you truly can release. And if you really understand what I'm sharing today on this video, releasing these two facts or these two ways of being is so powerful. And it's not easy at first, but when you can see, oh my God, I've been taking things so personally and I've been practicing separation. How do we practice separation? Well, a lot of people want a relationship. They compare themselves. Oh, they can have a relationship. I can't. There's something wrong with me. I'm too old, whatever. I mean, that's practicing separation. Feeling like other people have what you want, not, and you don't have it. Feeling like love is lost if somebody leaves you. Feeling separate. Feeling like the universe has dropped you off. I mean, I've felt that when I've had heartbreak. But sometimes those painful situations that we've experienced, like heartbreak, can be our biggest spiritual breakthroughs to come to the feet of the divine. And it did for me. I've been on a spiritual path since my 20s, and I've been through different phases, and I still wanted human love. But the last relationship really brought me to the feet of the divine. It really did. And really helped me develop that relationship authentically, experientially, not just intellectually, like it had been for so long. From everything I learned on my path, it now is more personal, it's more intimate. That is what we're all seeking, guys. We really are. We think that a partnership is going to fulfill us, or a career, or whatever. And you know what? Those things do fulfill us, but ultimately they don't. I mean, they do, but but really the fulfillment that we're seeking is within, and it's with the divine, with the beingness that we are. But I will share that for another video. So if this video really resonates with you and you'd like to learn how to really free yourself from taking things personally and practicing separation, you're welcome to join my community. Everything is in the description of this video. And you can also book a private session or join my membership. I hope you like and subscribe to this video, and I appreciate you listening. Have a great day.